Something to put the camera on?
That's all right. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we're here with Mr. Bob Spencer of Skyhooks, of the Angels, Black Cat Moan.
Black Cat Moan.
And
Thank
your
you.
latest offering is Odd Even. Is that
Even
odd? Even odd.
Yeah.
Yes, wearing a very good Midnight Oil t-shirt. What can you tell me?
It's a size too small for me.
That's fine. What can you tell me about it?
The t-shirt?
Yes, there you go.
So we were fortunate to attend the last Oils gig at the Horden.
Yep.
In November of last year. Is that correct? October.
Yeah.
Of last year. And I was just so excited. So my gal bought a t-shirt for herself and for one of the kids, and I got this one. And apart from it being one size too small, I'm very happy.
Yeah, cool. It's a great t-shirt with great design, good colours.
It was an incredible gig.
Yeah, it was.
It was. I think it's the best gig I've ever been to.
That's high praise indeed. Just on a sort of side note, one of the best Angels gigs I went to was the Liveline gig at the Enmore Theatre. You did a couple of nights there.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Yeah, Liveline at the Enmore, just knocked my socks off. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just prior to Doc breaking my arm.
Oh, I'm sure there's a story.
Oh, he was the clumsiest person, just unbelievably clumsy, but that's how that came about.
Yeah, so do you have a favourite Midnight Oil song or album?
I really like Head Injuries, possibly because that's the first album I bought of theirs. I think it's a beautifully put together record with really energetic and performances and really clever arrangements and a great marriage of tones, the drums, the vocals, the guitars, the bass. It's one of those albums that does that for me. Everything goes together, and I've said what I'm about to say before. The Jim's non-guitar solo in the middle of Borderline is the best non-guitar solo I've ever heard. It's just it kills me. It's just I'm flabbergasted every time I hear that. It's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah,
actually, that one solo has had quite an influence on my guitar playing.
Right. Yeah, well, you've just given me goosebumps just talking about that. That's good to hear. Did you ever, like the Angels or yourself, ever tour with the Oils? You probably did some sort of benefit gigs together, like Newcastle, but
we did too.
But did you ever, like, the Angels tour with the Oils?
No. The closest that I got was I'm pretty sure, unless I've made this up, that the Oils supported Skyhooks in Sydney in '77.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I think that's the first time I saw them. I can't find the date. I've tried to find the date or dates, and sometimes I think, have I made this up? But I'm pretty sure that's when I first saw them.
Yeah. Probably Rob Hurst. He's really into collecting and hoarding all the memorabilia, so he might know.
Oh, I could call Rob.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, he'd have all the info on that. Yeah,
right. Well, they were. I remember at the time, however it was that I saw them, being really, really impressed. Like, this is a band that has a clear handle on what they're doing. Not just a great band, but they have an idea about what they're doing, which is not necessarily the same thing. There are lots of great bands, but they don't really have a clue what they're doing. But the Oils seem to have brought together those aspects. Great band, great songs, great performance, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Cool.
Big influence. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, like they're one of the bands that first band I saw, and they like changed my life. Really, they just
The oils.
an incredible tour de force.
Yeah.
So it may not be the oils, but do you have like a favorite like live gig that you've seen, or
Well, as I said, I'm
doesn't have to be the oils, but it might be
I think
someone.
that the gig at the Horden was, I'm reluctant to use the word best, but I think it was the best gig I've ever seen from anybody. And I've seen Free, I've seen Led Zeppelin, I've seen many of those bands that I grew up with. And up until I saw the Oils, I'd always thought that seeing Free at Randwick Racecourse on May the 9th, 1971 was the best, most enjoyable, kind of shocking gig I'd ever seen. But the Oils at the Horden, that was really something. And I ended up in tears. I think I cried 3 times.
Yep, I'm right there with you. Yeah.
It was just frightening. So good, so well put together. The band was on fire, but not messy.
No.
Still everything on point.
Yep.
So much energy, brilliant songs. Pete is singing the best I've ever heard him sing. The band really, really tight. The arrangements as tight as you would expect from Midnight Oil.
Yeah. Just going back slightly, do you remember how you got the tickets to see Led Zeppelin at Randwick?
No, it was 400 years ago.
I know that.
I don't remember. No, I don't remember. I would have somehow bought them with my own money. I guess I don't.
Yeah. You were playing in bands at that time, or
72? Yeah, I was playing in Finch. In 1972. Yeah.
Right.
But when I saw Free in 1971, I'm pretty sure that's before I joined Finch. Pretty sure. And that was an incredibly influential gig for me. And I have the bootleg of Free playing in Sydney, and it's
cool.
very, very good.
Wow.
It's not one of those gigs that you remember romantically and then you hear them 40 years later and it's kind of not very good, because at the time you're taken away by so many emotional feelings about seeing the band that you always wanted to see, and I think that colours for all of us, and I think that's fine. I think that colours our memories of how great it was when maybe it wasn't all that great, but Free really were great, and I have the bootleg to prove that.
Yeah, wow, cool.
But up until then, up until the Midnight Oil in October, you said it was?
October, yeah.
October the 11th, is that correct?
I think it was the 3rd, I think, from memory.
I stand corrected. That really hit me. In fact, I keep meaning to write about this on Facebook. And I haven't done it. But the gig screwed me up so badly that I couldn't function the next day.
Wow.
I was questioning everything that I do and have done, and I couldn't function the next day. I felt adrift.
Yeah, wow, they're one of those bands that always constantly deliver. Like they always give 110%, and it does have that kind of effect on you, for sure.
It certainly affected me. It wasn't only that it was a terrific gig, but it kind of shifted the way I think about music and performing,
right,
and career.
Sure, right, really. Yeah.
So I was actually really depressed.
What have I been doing wrong all these years?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what it had me thinking.
Yeah, right.
It had me thinking that I hadn't really followed the musical path that I could have followed, and I felt really shitty and depressed about it.
Mm.
They had followed their path. They had stuck to their guns. Come hell or high water, they were going to do exactly what they were going to do.
Mm.
And I didn't do that. And I actually feel really bad about it, now.
Yeah, right.
And that is when I've briefly broached this with other people, some other people, their response has been, "Oh, but we've really enjoyed you in band, this or that." It's like, well, yeah, I get that, and thank you, and that's nice to hear. But I also see myself having, in an alternate universe, having followed a different musical path.
Yeah.
And it's hard at my age to acknowledge that.
Well, on behalf of many Aussie rock fans that have watched you perform over many years, yeah, just a huge thank you for what you've done and delivered with your guitar, and yeah, like I don't think you've let anyone down, but yeah, your playing has been just extraordinary, and thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I just being the person who did the things that you appreciate, I have a
Slightly different angle on it. Yeah.
Well, it's like anything. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
Like take anything, you and I are going to have a different perspective on it because we are different people.
Sure.
Standing, sitting, observing from a different position. So I don't mean this to be depressing at all. It's sounding depressing.
No, that's all good. All good.
I don't mean it to be like that. It's just that gig really affected me. It really, really affected me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you get in contact with Rob, have a little chat with him, and yeah, I'm sure he would appreciate hearing from you. Yeah.
Yeah, I have Rob's number,
Yeah.
and I still speak with Jim occasionally. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Who I adore. I just adore Jim.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. I've met him a couple of times, and always very approachable and very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah. Any last words before we sign off?
No, that was shorter than I expected.
Yeah, just nice and easy, pretty painless. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bob Spencer, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Thank you.